Morning, everyone, or evening. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Today is the first business focused chat. And as I was thinking about, the topics, I was like, I could talk about tools that I'm using or how to stay organized or how to stay connected with other business builders as, you're traveling around in different places and talking about money and how to make money while traveling, how to create passive income streams. All of these things are all important, but I thought actually what I'd like to talk about is this general question of why do we build businesses? Because I find that there are some limitations or if I just am working for money, I'm not very motivated by that. I mean, I like money. Don't get me wrong. It's important. Excuse me. Um, Morning for me here, so getting started. Um, so, money matters, of course, but I think any business that's just being built for money is not, that doesn't motivate me. And I'm not, I'm generally not attracted to companies that I can feel that that's their main thing, right? Um, so it can actually work against some, uh, to me, it works against me if I feel like there's too much emphasis on the money. And then, impact does motivate me, but that can be the challenge there is that it's exhausting. It can be exhausting. How do you know? For first of all, how do you know what impact you're having? How do you measure that? And and how do you balance yourself and your needs in order to keep having impact? So in when I was living in the United States, that was part of my challenge is that I was really enjoying my work. I love working with the you know the aged care industry. I love working with the people who are my clients. They're amazing, and the families and the colleagues and the other people working in that field are incredible. It's very rewarding work. I love it, but it was difficult for me personally to do, over the long term. And I felt like, can I really sustain this? Can I really um, continue working the way I want to work and helping people the way I want to help them, um, and still take care of myself? And also, there wasn't a lot of money. So that makes a difference too. So again, it does matter. But part of my reason for traveling is because I wanted to see if I can find a place where I can live um, more frugally, spend have a lower expenses, right? If I lower my expenses, so that I can have more freedom to um, still have impact, but I don't have to worry so much about the money. And I have more time and I have more energy, and less stress. So then, throughout all of this work for my business, I started doing art more. I met this amazing teacher, Jenna Soard, who built this training platform for artists to learn AI tools. And I was really interested to educate myself about them because I didn't know much about them and I didn't want to, I was intrigued with this whole AI thing and I didn't want to dismiss it too quickly. I didn't want to be afraid of it. And I also thought, it's probably going to be really important for the health field because we're probably going to need it. So I should learn about it. So I started learning about it, and it turned out that it really I found it inspired my creative side, which I wasn't expecting, and I ended up doing lots of art, and that was just for fun. So throughout this whole I've had my business now for a couple of years, out of the box aging, and and while I've been working on that, underneath I've had this other thread going, which has been learning AI and doing art. And my question today, as I was preparing for this chat, was how does that fit into business goals? Because we do as I think the world is changing. Wow, big insight. But, you know, we don't know exactly how it's changing. We know that it's changing for sure, but we don't know exactly how it's changing or what it's going to morph into. But there's a chance, there's a possibility that it might morph into something where we have more freedom, possibly. Let's dream, let's hope. And that maybe we have universal basic income, for example. Let's hope. And if that's the case, where we have a basic needs covered, then we can work more from a place of joy and fun and see what happens, see what we build. I think that being here in China has been part of what I feel when I'm here is a taste of that. And again, no place is perfect. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but it is closer in the sense that here in China, they really work hard to meet basic needs. So although there are a large number of people who have low income in China, there are also able to get food and have transportation and have home and have healthcare. So there are not there aren't people in China who are struggling for food, um, you know, don't have a home, can't afford healthcare. And so I mean, I shouldn't say there's nobody in China. I can't speak to that, but I definitely an emphasis here that those needs are met, and then people can work to, improve their lives. They can education is free, like just so anyway. Um, I feel a sense of that comfort, that safety that really impacts people. And unfortunately, we don't have that in the United States right now. We're actually moving away from that. It's getting harder to meet basic needs. It's getting harder to pay for food. It's getting harder um, to pay for healthcare. And so then everything ends up being about money. Um, and I think that makes things that's unfortunate. So I don't really have a message, I guess, on that. I really am just I want it to be an open question. I'm really interested to hear from other people. I know so many of you are either artists or solopreneurs or infopreneurs, or maybe you're hoping to be a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, an infopreneur, whatever. And how are you thinking about that? Like if you're looking to build a your full-time income on something, if you're already doing that, if you're looking to build some side income on one of these things, do you have a metric around having fun and joy and just doing it for fun? Or are you focusing on your impact? Are you focusing on money? Are you focusing on all three? Um, I look at one of my favorite artists, Kelly Bosch. probably mention her in like every single video. And she does have a job and she's been doing art not for money. She's been doing it for fun. She's been doing it for herself. And but she really does it. She does it consistently. She does very high quality. She turns out she produces a lot of work. But her goal is definitely it's for herself. That's her primary goal. And and I think for artists, it does have to be the goal, right? I think the artists have to create for ourselves. We have to create what is in our heart and in our meaningful for us. But there is a conversation that's happening. Okay, now I'm moving into like why create art, but there is a conversation that's happening with an audience. There is a culture that we're living in. So we are thinking about impact. We do, I think it matters to us if we communicate something. If somebody hears us, if somebody connects with what we're doing, that matters. Like if I'm writing a novel, I want it to either be enjoyed, I want it to entertain, I want it to spark insight, right? I want to have participation, I want to have engagement. I don't want to just be completely off in my own world creating. But maybe that's, okay too. Emily Dickinson, she just sat and wrote poems and she didn't, I don't know if she even shared them ever, you know? Um, and then of course you can also create for money. Certainly now, there can be people who have a lot of fun, but they also get great followings because they're creating content that is very fun for them to create, but it's also a following, and there's certainly aspects of that. Mm. So I don't know. I just wanted to kind of put this out there. This is what I've been thinking about today. Business building, what are the goals? And I'd like to hear your thoughts. So maybe more to follow on this in future business buildings. I think um, I thought about doing some tools like you know website building tools, um, uh, design and branding approaches, brand strategy. I thought would be really fun to talk about. Maybe even just doing some co-working together, like just sitting together and doing some work sometimes, I think would be nice. Um, Maybe sharing some progress updates. So as I accomplish something, I can put it here and celebrate together. And likewise, if you have something you'd like to celebrate, we could do that together here. But yeah, so these Wednesday nights are just meant to be um like yeah, supporting each other as business um entrepreneurs, infopreneurs, solopreneurs, artists. And yeah, I think that's all for today. I just wanted to introduce this. So thank you so much for being here. And tomorrow is going to be the first health day. And that'll be really fun. So I'll be talking and introducing about my experience with Qigong and how it's impacted me doing Qigong for 4 months. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.